Kilo, welcome back to another video. Today we got some good old decoy voice, and apparently it's happening. So yeah, they're finally going down for this. Ooh, let's ensure that quality is at its highest and give him a little like. Yeah, let's get into it. See what he has to say.
In case you're concerned over the fistfights and violence over at UC Berkeley, leave it to the
Bro. Damn. You would have thunk that all this would be, you know, left in high school, all the fist fights and behaving like little kids. But I guess not. I guess it really goes to show that when your high school teachers were telling you, "Oh, this kind of stuff won't fly in college," they were really lying to you. Like before they were lying to you because they'd be like, "Oh, this kind of stuff won't fly in college." You got a college that said it's like most professors didn't even care. They were there just to teach and do their job. That's it. Very few actually were like your high school teachers. But now it's like, bro, they might as well make college free, and it's essentially high school 2.0. Like, man, genuinely, these people are supposed to be adults, by the way. That's what's even sadder.
left-wing media to say, no, you didn't see that, as a local CBS affiliate immediately went into fiery but mostly peaceful.
They have been chanting.
No way.
Just a very, very lively scene out here. While things have been...
It'd be so funny if they were zooming into like an actual fight and they're like fire and they were like, oh, they're being peaceful while some dude's getting his face beaten in.
mostly peaceful.
Meanwhile, Fox News played the entire fistfight before the conference even occurred.
We saw some of those protesters.
God damn.
With people waiting in line to get inside.
Where to see what actually happened, you'd need to tune into independent news like
what?
Now the only
Yo, Antifa attacked TPUSA attendees at Berkley event last night. That is sad, dude. Let me guess. They're gonna give them a slap on the wrist. Antifa targeted attendees with projectiles, flares, and incendiary devices on the Berkeley campus as students arrive for the TPUSA event. How is this just not an act of terror? Genuinely. Like, how is Antifa not just officially labeled a terrorist organization, same as like ISIS? And all these are labeled as terrorist acts. Because genuinely, they're doing this just to cause terror, spread fear and panic, and try to... And if any of these people happen to die, then that's just a plus for them. It's sad that we're allowing this to happen, and the police just don't want to do anything. But I'm basing that off the title that Decoy Voice put up here, that they may have actually finally for once suffered the consequences of their actions. So yeah, let's see, hopefully.
like amuse. Now the only thing you can rely on the corporate media to do is to lie. But when it comes to the people that actually have to live in reality, they'll quickly learn not to trust them, which means the left will officially lose the youth. As when these kids go off to college, they see Turning Point USA peacefully assembling over the memory of Charlie Kirk. Only if they can get past the rabid mobs of leftists chanting.
So insane. I wonder what some of these signs say. I wonder if you can read them. Let's see. Freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequence. That's rich coming from you guys. That's hilarious. Weren't you guys literally bitching 2 weeks ago that you were being fired from your jobs because you were celebrating the death of Charlie like some lunatics? Weren't you complaining like, oh no, I'm being fired, my freedom of speech is being violated? Now, oh wow, all of a sudden, freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequences. That is so fucking hilarious. You know, it just goes to show that these people are the biggest hypocrites on the planet, and they belong in insane asylums, honestly. Every single one of these people. This machine fights fascism. Okay, I don't see any of you guys fighting each other. Why aren't you fighting the actual fascists that are around you? Like, bro. How is protesting a Palestine Oh, oh, that's 4, bruh. 4. That looks like an A. For Palestine, anti-Semitic, but when Kirk says Jewish money ruins our culture, organized what? I don't even know. I don't even know where they're going with that one.
Rabid mobs of leftists chanting, F your dead homie.
Drown fascism in a sea of resistance. Revolutionary Students Organization. Dude, are these people retarded? Of course they are. They're Antifa. Like, genuinely, I can guarantee. Like, bro, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Because they're like, we're anti-fascism. We're socialists. We believe in you know, national socialism. And then you'll just stare at them and just be like, in your mind, just think to yourself, did you just admit to being a Nazi? They're like, no, I'm a socialist. I believe in national socialism. I want socialism throughout my nation. And you're just sitting there like, this guy is saying he's a Nazi. Does he not know what Nazi stands for? That's what these people are. That's how few brain cells they have.
So young students see the choice of siding with the people willing to literally risk their lives to have open discussions with the other side, or they can align with whatever the heck this is.
Ain't no way they got the furries out there, bro. That's so sad. Oh my god, dude. No, don't involve the furry community. God damn, you'll create so much discourse within the furry community, man. And they have the money to fight each other, which is funny.
At best, they're out there screaming with a sign saying, "The lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of Turning Point USA," as it's difficult to say. Sheep and a group of idiots still wearing medical masks outdoors in 2025.
Yeah, with colored hair. Like, god damn, dude. I'm ashamed to be a dude with long hair, seeing this guy standing here. But then I'm reminded he's wearing a mask and standing here doing nothing with his life.
Not to mention they're waving foreign flags of countries that
Why this bitch dressed like... Ain't no way she went to this event with a Rize cosplay. Ain't no way. Yeah, she did it. Bro, you went to a... Okay. Fucking hilarious. Oh, these people are so funny.
definitely enforce their border laws, and quite possibly the most confusing sign ever. As let's really break down their messaging, since they took all that time and effort to advertise what liberal colleges teach their students today. You got the text, "All power to the people," which is a Black Panther slogan next to the BLM fist. It kinda checks out, but I still don't know how it's applicable to protesting.
What the fuck? Yeah, I always forget to close that, and it annoys me. It annoys me specifically because I have OBS over VTube Studio, so I can see if anything is going on with OBS. And it'll still, I don't know why, hover the VTube Studio stuff. It's a bit infuriating, so I'm sorry if that's been there for a hot minute.
Speech. But then they have the Palestine flag beside the BLM fist and the feminism logo next to their updated pride flag that
EBT at the bottom. That's so funny. Bro, I didn't know EBT was... What the... Wow, Decoy Voice says the EBT tribe for a few videos, and these people take it to heart. God damn. Holy shit. Let me guess, EBT now stands for the Economically Betrayed Tribe. Oh my god. I bet it's something stupid like that. Oh my god. But genuinely, you're gonna have Palestine along with these two. You do realize that Palestine is against all this stuff, right? You do realize that in Palestine they still do oppress women, right? You realize that in a lot of Middle Eastern countries they still oppress women and actually will just outright behead you for being alphabetized, I'll say.
Includes stripes for trans, but also black and brown people. I'm pretty
Ew.
certain one of those flags absolutely doesn't tolerate the other two movements. Too bad there's no place these kids could go where they could learn why that is. And that's not even unpacking why they added skin color to the pride flag. But the cherry on top of the sundae that is their stupidity isn't whatever random flower this is.
Please. It's gonna be the EBT. Please be the EBT.
But the fact that they actually wrote EBT
Yes!
on the banner, as the left's activism is now just AI-generated word clouds of anything and everything that makes them feel emotional, makes it on their sign, no matter how contradictory or nonsensical it may be, as somehow food stamps became a symbol of fighting free speech on college campuses, as they congregated over the idea of, quote, ending a youth-oriented campaign of incitement to violence by showing up in masks, holding signs saying, "Bears bash fascists," saying, "Stop the violence of free speech," by showing up not only waving signs saying you'll beat them, but also literally beating them only looks stupid because it is stupid, which is a...
Yes. Guess what? You know what's funny? Guess what the fascists did in their countries to silence the opposition? They beat them, killed them, forced them out. Did anything necessary to, quite literally, like I said, silence the opposition. Wow, very, very interesting how the people that call themselves anti-fascists do exactly what the fascists did to, you know, silence their political candidates, their opposition, or anything that they just didn't like. I bet you if they could control the media, they wouldn't even show any of this. Just like actual fascists. Food for thought, you know. I just find it interesting.
Great advertisement to UC Berkeley's admission system. So of course they quickly resorted to violence, as this man in Charlie Kirk's Freedom shirt was met with chants of F ICE.
ICE! ICE! ICE!
Stop the kidnapping! Stop the deportation!
Only for a masked man to take his shirts, toss them to the ground.
That's sad.
And when he gave chase, a second idiot started punching him. And as both of them were being arrested, the victim got taunted for being white and attacked.
Hey, white boy! You're bleeding, white boy! Hey, white boy! White boy! You're bleeding! Break it up! What happened? What happened?
Now, any rational person, or more important,
Bro, like I said, dude, these people behave like animals. They should be treated like animals, man. If this is how you're gonna behave in public, literally trying to start a fight, then in my opinion, people should start carrying shit to end fights quickly. Every type of self-defense weapon that has been banned throughout the years needs to be immediately unbanned if this is the type of lawlessness you're gonna allow. Let's go back to people carrying brass knuckles, chains, whatever the hell they can to defend themselves, pipes, bats, out in public, you know, and if, because if this is the type of lawlessness you're going to create, then this is the type of reaction you can expect from other people who just quite literally want to live a peaceful life. They're going to start arming themselves with whatever they can, and if anyone comes at them, they're going to swing first and ask questions never. Because this is the type of situation you create. You don't arrest these individuals. You let them walk free. You allow them to assault other people, as we've seen before, and don't even bother arresting them because it'll be a misdemeanor, even though it's literally assault and battery. But whatever. So what can you expect? Oh, but guns for self-defense bad. Okay.
importantly, student will see this without the lens of the left's violent but mostly peaceful label and think, do I want to be on the side of freedom of speech or on the side of insane masked men holding nonsensical signs, proudly shouting how racist they are? As well into the evening, Turning Point attendees needed police barricades to speak freely on campus, which they're recreating an image that they should have learned about in school. All to
Yeah,
prevent
that's
these
wild.
students from hearing Rob Schneider's message.
But I want to know, are there things that we shouldn't be joking about, something that I could joke about that you couldn't, or...
Oh my God.
I don't think that there's any rules set in stone, but I do think that if you do a joke and people don't laugh, that you get it. But I also think it's our job to challenge people. It's like the tides. They go up and they go down. And it's our job to find out where it's going up and then to push it a little bit. If I don't challenge my audience, then I'm not doing my job. Like that gentleman challenged me. And what he did by calling me a was he brought me to defend that position and explain something. And it was true. I was incorrect in a statement, but I'm glad that it brought up people talking because I was able to talk about it.
It's insane to think the left literally beat a guy down while holding up signs saying EBT, or to prevent students from challenging their own beliefs, admitting...
Yeah, that's insane, man. Like, bro, and he brings up a good point. It's like, how can you get offended by something that's obviously supposed to be comedy? Like, yes, you cannot like it, you know, but that reaction, like you said, the reaction of people not laughing when you make a joke tells people, okay, they might not like that joke. That's a topic to avoid. And that's fine. But, you know, you could tell that exact same joke to a different crowd and they might burst out laughing. That's the duality of comedy. It's that not everyone will find the same joke funny, you know? There could be a guy who falls for a D's nuts joke every time, no matter how many times you use it on him, and he'll always find it funny. And you just don't know why. But there could be another guy who just really hates knock-knock jokes for some reason and just doesn't like knock-knock jokes. So you see, it's like everyone's different. But like you said, it's your job to push the audience to see what they actually do find funny and they don't find funny. You need to... there needs to be an interaction between the comedian and the audience in order for it to be enjoyable on both ends. And you gotta sometimes push to see how far you can really take it before you get a negative reaction.
When they're wrong, and simply having a discussion with the other side. But that's all the left has left. They can't challenge you in open discussion, as after they close their mind, they close their fist, and risk legitimate jail time. As first they tried to knock down the barricade to rabidly attack the students for going to a conference, where eventually one of them gets arrested.
They're telling him to stop. He's gonna, yep. They told the dude multiple times. They even pushed him away from the barricade and he just kept going back. What did he expect? What do any of you monkeys actually expect when you behave like this? There's a clear rule set. You're violating that rule. Guess what? Where's that dude with the sign? Freedom of speech doesn't equal freedom of consequence. Same thing right there. Your freedom to protest doesn't mean there's a freedom of consequence if you're not protesting correctly.
Why did it take this long for someone to get snatched up? Possibly because Berkeley's police chief is coincidentally the same Capitol Police chief that served DC right after 1/6. Now, I'm not trying to get too conspiratorial, but I somehow doubt conservatives in Berkeley can expect justice, especially when the protests got so absurd, even hyper-left Reddit became the voice of reason. As in Berkeley, a popular post requested they don't take this out on the workers, with all the top replies saying, "Just ignore TPUSA, we don't like them, so don't destroy our own campus over it," which is a shockingly reasonable response for Reddit. So of course, a top 1% Reddit...
What the fuck is this? What am I looking at? 3 arrested at UC Berkeley while installing large bug ahead of TPUSA event. What is that supposed to be? I'm like genuinely trying to figure that out. It's so funny. What the fuck? Like, I don't know. I'm guessing they broke the legs back because these are supposed to be forward. Because these are supposed to be wings, right? Which means this is the back, because here are the hairs. Is this just a giant ant? I think it's just a giant, like, a queen ant.
Posted about their giant mosquito protest, with the top reply.
Oh, that's what it is. Never in a million years would I have guessed that was a mosquito.
Remarking how cool it was, questioning the criminality of a giant mosquito, with someone even sharing how they know who made it. It took them several weeks to build, as it was a fabulous grandma mosquito with huge eyelashes and red heels, that eventually got 4 Berkeley students arrested for felony vandalism.
Okay, I see it now. The eyelashes, the red things here are supposed to be the heels, I guess. And this is supposed to be like some grandma thing. I thought these were all legs and these were antennae. I thought this was literally just part of this leg over here.
As they're all applauding this nonsense, as if a giant mosquito that slays was going to change anybody's mind. But this is what parents can expect their kids to learn at UC Berkeley, with a low price of $200,000 and whatever legal fees they also accrue. But hopefully the more desperately insane the left becomes, the quicker America's youth gets red-pilled to the truth. So if you appreciate my concise, lighthearted commentary on the tragic sadness that is today's reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice.
So annoying. Bro, fuck that. If I ever have kids, they're not going to college. Fuck no. They're going to the military, or they're going straight into the workforce. Or a trade. Oh, fuck. Oh, that felt good. That or a trade, man. One of those three. Hell no, they're not pursuing a higher education like college. That just feels like a massive scam at this point. You could make so much money learning a trade and whatnot, or just going into the military, doing 20 years. 20 years, retire to get that fat check every month. Then if you get 100% disability, that's another check. The retirement plan. your military 401k. Like, bro, it's funny. But yeah, it's just insane, dude. It's so wild that this is what is allowed in the state of California. More so in these very liberal cities. And it just baffles me how lawless. I'm sorry, my brain is being fried right now. It's insane how lawless it is in these major democratic cities, dude. Major liberal cities. Because how are you gonna allow people to just start attacking each other? Say it's a peaceful protest on the news, and then just not arrest anyone, or if anything, arrest 2 people. Like, bro, how do you not just order these people to disperse? I mean, I guess they have a right to protest, but like, once it gets violent, that's no longer a protest. So it's like you just tell them to disperse. They have to disperse. They got violent. It's no longer a peaceful protest. They have to leave, or else there will be arrests, you know? Like, it's just ridiculous, man, at the end of the day. And it's just wild that they would allow this on their campus. Like, what's even more insane to me is how they knew TPUSA was going to come, or I'm assuming they knew they were going to head over, and why they didn't just increase the security. If they didn't know, how did the other people also know, would be my question. So like the university needs to be in the know that TPUSA was going to go. So why not increase security and have like a specific route they can walk through uninterrupted, so that way they can get to where they need to get, is my question. Like, it's always just mind-boggling how these college campuses just they either underprepare or they choose to underprepare, and it's insane, man. Like, genuinely. It's like, if we treat them terribly enough, they'll stop coming. It's like, no, they won't. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. Remember to believe nothing, question everything, and always seek the deeper truth so you don't fall for any propaganda whatsoever. And I'll catch you on the next one later.